Good morning, friends, and thanks for tuning in. My name's Ian, and this is my podcast to do with my book, Living with Mitochondria Against All Odds. Please check these out because there may be a couple this morning as let's see what I get. Recorded the next 9 minutes. We may do another one. Um, yeah, because we've been doing a few things recently, and I haven't done a podcast for a while. So here we go. A couple of weeks ago, I went to the football. It was I don't believe we've spoken about this on here yet. I went to see Liverpool play Manchester City. Anyone that knows anything about football, um, it's quite a if it hadn't been for Man City of the last few years, we'd have had a few more titles than we have at the minute. Um, so there's a fairly big rivalry there. And Rob and Darren went with us, which was great. And at the time, I was trying to watch what I was eating and drinking. Um, so I took food with me as I usually do, but no Scotch eggs at the minute, or there wasn't then. I took some omelets with me and coffee. One of them, went to buy a pint when we got to the ground, but I and offered me a drink, but no, I declined because I'm trying to be really good. I then I then a few last week I went to the old people's home, um, which I've been to a few times over the years, to get weighed. I went just after Christmas, and I went last week to the South Park Care Home, and they have some like wheelchair scales that that I at the minute I can manage to stand to transfer. So I stand to transfer, and got on these scales, and fortunately, I'd lost 6 kilograms, but unfortunately, I wasn't light enough still to go skiing, which I did a few days ago. No, sorry, I went to Aviemore, but I didn't go skiing, which I'll tell you about a lot about later. Now, Mick, my friend that I often go to Edinburgh with, to the Fringe, he came up. Um, oh, oh, not this week, not this last week. The week before, he came up on the Wednesday night, and and we had the comedy night on the Wednesday night, which is at the Carlton. Um, Again, there was about between 12 and 15 people gonna be on the bill, but unfortunately, um, two or three of them dropped out, and one's turned up right late. Mind, I'd scheduled him for after 10 o'clock, and it wasn't quite 10 o'clock. So, but I mean, note to self, when doing this again, if I've scheduled a break, even if we start having the break before when it's scheduled for, maybe finish having the break at the right time, But I mean, these are things that that can be that can be ironed out, um, and and yeah, but no, everything at the comedy night went to plan, I believe, um, and then Mick stayed over. I'd got some chips in and stuff because I know Mick often likes to have some food before he goes to bed. So we had Mick had um, a chip butty, I think, and because I was trying still to be good, I just had a smoothie and a couple of pieces of fruit. And when we were at the pub, I had a couple of coffees. Trying to do comedy when when you haven't had a couple to drink, that's an experience in itself that I haven't done for a while, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you that. But it all went to plan. Um, and and then my friend from Derby, Philip, came the following weekend. Um, we went to college together in the mid to late 90s. Um, so yeah, he's kept in touch with me over the years. But yeah, I went skiing, or I was going to go skiing earlier this week, but unfortunately, I'd already booked the bunkhouse and booked my tickets. So as I say, unfortunately, I wasn't light enough because as well as being in the sit ski, there's an instructor holding onto rope, which is called a tether, behind you. But I stayed at the bunkhouse because I'd already booked the bunkhouse and I'd booked my train ticket, so that I'm still going. And my care team knew that I was going to be away as well. So it says I still went and enjoyed a couple of days away, and I went on a steam train ride on the Tuesday, and um, and on the Wednesday I tried to wheel into Aviemore, but I took the wrong turning, and got back to where I was staying in um, eventually. And yeah, we had a pizza on last night. There's a pizza van that comes because the restaurant's shop where they do food um, usually. Um, and then I had a couple of drinks in the bar. But there's a fridge and a kettle in your bedroom, so I could sort my breakfast and things out in my own area without getting in anybody's way, or um so that's pretty good. And yeah, it all went fairly to plan. Usually something happens on these occasions. I think I lost um, a bar on my wheelchair, which I can get replaced. But apart from that, it all kind of went fairly smooth. So if you've enjoyed this edition, please keep an eye out for future um, podcasts. Or if you haven't already got my book, please get my book on Amazon. It's Living with Mitochondria Against All Odds. And hopefully I'll speak to you soon. Okay then, see you soon. Bye.